Former Gitmo detainees taking the lives of Americans overseas. A dozen released Gitmo inmates have killed Americans and allied forces in Afghanistan. This is according to a U.S. official. The Obama administration has yet to comment on the report, calling it, quote, classified. Here now is Stephen Yates, former Deputy Assistant to Vice President Cheney for National Security Affairs. This is such a distressing and agonizing report because this is exactly what so many people said would happen. And to have evidence of it is heartbreaking, that we released people terrorists who went right back out onto the battlefield and killed Americans. What's your reaction?
Well, of course, the report is telling the truth. To a degree, the administration wants to have its cake and eat it too. They want to try to say, well, these were releases under the Bush administration and our vetting process is going to be so much better. So they're releasing somewhat classified information about what happened in the past, but they're not allowing transparency on what's happening now. And the overwhelming evidence is that we know these people are dedicated to killing Americans, and if you release them into a war zone, they go back to their natural habitat and they do what they do. It's why we've had to detain them this long, whether we like it or not. They declared war on us, and we're better off detaining them than releasing them to kill again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it would make a difference when they were released, because it's the point that people that we release from here are going to go out and do the same thing. I mean, it's just logical. This is evidence of it. Why do you think the Defense Department released it? I mean, do you think they're trying to shame the ghosts of the Bush administration, or what is it about?
Well, I think they're trying to frame it as if there was a problem with the vetting process in the Bush administration and they'll do a better job. The Obama administration came in famously wanting to close Guantanamo Bay and either relocate some of these people to the continental U.S. or release them back to host countries. But when one of the host countries is Afghanistan, that has struggled to get its feet under itself and provide for its own security, it's really a very, very dangerous gamble. I think they're putting politics over national interest.
All right, meanwhile, the State Department reopening the investigation into that deleted video about the Iran nuclear deal. This was very strange. Secretary of State John Kerry, you'll remember, ordering a review of the deleted footage from a 2013 press briefing just a week after a spokesman said the probe had hit a dead end. Why is it important that we know what happened here?
Well, this Iran deal was sold to us under very questionable circumstances. And, of course, there's this famous expose of Ben Rhodes, the White House top national security communicator, admitting that they basically snowed the Congress and snowed the American public on what was at stake in this negotiation. But this particular exchange is an acknowledgement that the U.S. government was negotiating with the unreformed and more conservative and hostile parts of the Iran government before reformists had come in. And that was contrary to what they had told us publicly.
But what does it say, you know, that they tried to scrub this video from the public record, then they got caught doing it. Now they're sort of saying, oh, it was a dead end. Now we're going to investigate it. We know the gender of the person that called and said to delete the video, and we're getting closer maybe now to knowing who it is. What does all that sort of trying to hide it and the cover-up tell you?
Well, it's just this administration, more than any other, has focused on narrative. That happened with the Benghazi talking points. It's happening with this Iran deal narrative as well. It was also clumsily done. I mean, the video was altered, but the transcript appeared not to be altered. And so ultimately, this is doomed to fail as an effort to manipulate the public. And so you have to go back and question the judgment of the people who would even try.
Yeah, definitely. Stephen, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.